Today's story is an encouragement for anyone who is undergoing mistreatment or victimization in career or ministry. God knows about what's happening to you, and He wants you to know that vengeance is His. In the time of kings and warriors in Israel, a young shepherd named David found himself at the center of a divine story that would shape the future of a nation. Known for his bravery and unwavering faith, David had risen to fame after slaying the giant Goliath with a single stone. His victory was celebrated by the people and earned him a place in the court of King Saul. But this rise to prominence would come with trials that tested not only David's courage, but his character and faith. As David's victories on the battlefield multiplied, so did his fame. The people of Israel sang, "Saul has slain his thousands, but David his tens of thousands." What was intended as praise for both warriors became a source of deep pain for King Saul. Saul's heart, already troubled by the knowledge that God had rejected him as king, became a breeding ground for envy and paranoia. An evil spirit, allowed by God as a consequence of Saul's disobedience, began to torment him, intensifying his jealousy and turning it into a consuming obsession. Despite his inner turmoil, Saul initially tried to maintain his composure. He brought David closer, making him a commander in his army and offering his daughter Michal in marriage. David, humble and devoted, accepted these honors without realizing the dark turn Saul's heart had taken. Saul's jealousy grew as he watched David's popularity soar. The evil spirit within him twisted his thoughts, making him see David not as a loyal servant, but as a rival to his throne. The king's son, Jonathan, however, saw David differently. Recognizing the anointing on David's life, Jonathan formed a deep and loyal friendship with him, even giving David his royal robe and weapons, symbolizing his support for David's future as king. This act of loyalty further inflamed Saul's jealousy, but his son's love for David also added to Saul's inner conflict. Saul's torment was evident to those around him. He would swing between moments of kindness towards David and sudden, violent outbursts. On more than one occasion, while David played the harp to soothe Saul's troubled spirit, Saul hurled a spear at him, trying to pin him to the wall. David, by God's grace, always managed to escape unharmed. David's marriage to Michal, Saul's daughter, should have brought him closer to the king, but instead, it made him a more immediate target. Saul's jealousy, now fully inflamed by the evil spirit, led him to plot David's death. Yet David, even when warned by Jonathan and aided by Michal in escaping Saul's clutches, refused to harm the king. David's respect for Saul as God's anointed remained unshaken, despite knowing that Saul was consumed by jealousy and driven by dark forces. As David fled into the wilderness, his faith was tested. Despite numerous opportunities to kill Saul and claim the throne, David chose restraint. He believed that it was not his place to harm the one whom God had once anointed. In one dramatic encounter, David and his men found Saul sleeping in a cave. David's men urged him to kill Saul, but David instead cut off a piece of Saul's robe, showing that he could have taken his life, but chose not to. This act was a powerful testament to David's faith and respect for God's authority. As Saul's mind and spirit deteriorated, his kingdom also began to crumble. Forsaking God's guidance, Saul sought out a medium to seek answers, a clear sign of his desperation. The once mighty king was now a man consumed by fear, jealousy, and darkness. In a final tragic battle against the Philistines, Saul's sons, including Jonathan, were killed. Wounded and facing capture, Saul chose to end his life by falling on his own sword. David's reaction to Saul's death was not one of triumph, but of deep sorrow. He mourned for Saul and Jonathan, composing a lament that honored them both. Despite all that Saul had done, David recognized the complexity of Saul's struggles, the torment of the evil spirit, and the inner conflict that drove him to act the way he did. David's journey is a profound lesson in faith, respect, and divine justice. He showed that even in the face of jealousy and conflict, one must honor God's authority and trust in His timing. Saul's tragic story, is a reminder of the consequences of turning away from God, while David's respect for Saul, even in his darkest moments, teaches us the value of restraint, humility, and unwavering faith in God's plan. If this story spoke to you, why not subscribe to our channel to see more inspiring content as we upload it? Also, like, share and comment. Let's hear your own thoughts. Till next time, stay blessed.